Phantom Punch Podcast.
Who's that? Who's there?
The familiar or unfamiliar sounds
Mostly unfamiliar. I'm pretty sure everybody kind of forgot that we exist.
of the Phantom Punch Boys.
The Phantom Punch Boys. We are back in the building. Literally, building.
Shout out to Bridgeport Studios.
Bridgeport Studios. We found a new home. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see this, you know that we're visual now.
Yeah, over a year, man. Been over a year layoff, little ring rust.
A year and a week. To the date, bro. To the date. A year and 1 week.
Pandemic was real. That's all I can say, man.
Well, it is good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, my man.
How you doing? How you feeling? How's life? Oh,
You know
shit.
what I mean? Salute to that.
Cheers, sir. Salute.
Welcome back to the pod.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. COVID free. Everybody healthy. Everybody's well.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I survived, man. Knock on wood.
Oh, yeah, we made it.
Family survived. Everybody good.
The world is opening again. It's been a year. It's been a fucking crazy
good.
ass year, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be
wild,
crazy.
bro.
It's gonna be even crazier summer.
yeah.
Once we get a peak of this freedom again.
Oh, summer's gonna be crazy.
That's a fact.
People gonna be outside. Everybody's gonna be outside. Everybody's already outside. I feel like.
Right.
I'm behind the curve, and I've still been traveling. So
Yeah, I did a little something, but I ain't moving too major. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was a little nervous to get on planes and shit, but we did it anyways and hit the airways. You know what I mean? Got out a little bit.
That's fly.
But ladies and gentlemen, the Phantom Punch Podcast is back. We appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're checking out this is episode 35. And I say that like default because last episode was literally, March 9th, 2020.
Wow.
And we covered the heavyweight fight of the century. There hasn't been another heavyweight fight since. Not of the keynote players.
Yeah, not of the elite caliber, but we do got some news.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold up.
You want to get to that yet? Or you want?
Nah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But ladies and gentlemen, the Phantom Punch Podcast. I am Johnny Southpaw.
Apollo Ali.
We are back. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I'm not going to spend this entire episode. We agreed that we're not going to spend this whole entire damn episode recapping the last 2020.
Yeah,
Like all of the
it's too
fights,
much. I mean, it was some key fights, but it was also a lot of sparring on TV.
Oh yeah, just like live televised sparring sessions.
Yeah, I mean, but that was we in a year like 2020, we appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? I know I did.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't like a fight of the century type of fight, I still enjoy, catching the ones that I did.
Listen, I don't forget that what happened when everything went down, when like everything got shut down. I remember Shakur was supposed to fight that weekend.
Yeah.
I believe Ray was on that card.
Ray Savage.
Savage Ford.
Yeah.
I believe he was on that card. There was a few people, and like everything just came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
And they stopped the fight. I think Michaela Mayer was on that card too. There was quite a few people on those cards way back in March 2020. And it was a top-ranked card, and that's when they called it for
That's when they were shutting everything down. Yeah, because that actually when the call happened, I was supposed to be going to J Electronica release party thing in New York.
Damn.
I had my ticket, all that stuff, and they returned the money like that day. Like, so everything shut down.
Everything shut down.
There's no go. I'm like,
that's crazy. Yeah, it's been a minute, yo. And
bro.
And ever since then, I mean, it's changed the entire landscape of not obviously the entire world, not just boxing.
Right.
But it's changed the entire landscape of everything, the way we all consume everything. Like, that's crazy. It's crazy to look back and remember what life was like before. Like with movie theaters, concerts, going to listening party, all of that shit, bro. Shit is crazy. It's we live in literally a different world, bro. And not to mention 700,000 other podcasts popping up, but that's no shots. Just saying.
That's gonna
hey,
happen.
look, everybody, bring your podcast on board. Let's all love the sport. Let's all talk about the sport. You know what I mean?
There we go.
But with that being said, the Phantom Punch Boys obviously have our take on everything. So let's fucking just jump right into it. First, though, do we all need to give a rest in peace 10 bell toll to the greatest, well, first and foremost, to everybody who passed from COVID-19, anybody who lost a loved one to COVID-19. There have been millions of people across the world, obviously.
Affected by the pandemic.
By the pandemic. In boxing, we did lose a great, recently, one of the greatest southpaws.
It's a fact, man.
In history. The marvelous
man.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler. It's wartime, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's honestly, bro, I didn't live through his era. None of us. I mean, neither of us did. I mean, but neither of us lived through his era. But we always have the ability to look back, to go back and look back.
Yeah. Watching Marvelous, man.
I mean, his whole shit that he lived through, like with those four, with him, Hearns, Eddie, Marvelous Marvin Hagler,
come on.
Tommy Hearns, Tommy the Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran, and Sugar Ray Leonard. Man, those four defined an entire decade in boxing. The 80s in boxing.
Hell of a class, man. Hell
oh my God, class. That's and he was a first-time Hall of Fame ballot.
Yeah, as he should be.
Absolutely. I didn't actually as they were talking about what's going. You know what I mean? When he passes, they obviously everybody does the what did he accomplish and all of that stuff. He defended his title 13 straight times. I might be wrong in that. I think I'm probably off on that, but it's some astronomical number that he retained his title and defended his title X amount of times.
He's a legend, man. He's definitely a legend.
Yeah.
Rest in
Born
peace,
in
Marvin
Newark,
Hagler,
New Jersey.
Man. Come on.
I'm just saying.
Jersey boys, man.
Jersey in the building. But yeah, rest in peace to the great one, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Did they details come out on how he passed?
It did not.
I didn't catch anything yet.
So I didn't want to talk about it, but Tommy the Hitman Hearns actually put on his social media and speculated that he passed from the COVID vaccine, and then followed that up today, actually, or to the day, actually, yeah, today, March 15th. His wife Kay put out a statement and said that he passed peacefully. He did not pass from the COVID-19 vaccine and all of that stuff. Like it was, he was happy. He was amongst family. That's what she said. So,
well, I hope. I'll roll with that story.
I'll roll with his wife.
Yeah,
I'll roll with his wife.
But that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm gonna leave that alone.
But either way,
that's interesting.
Rest in peace to Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Definitely.
Wartime as always.
Definitely.
And then all right, so we might as well jump into it, bro. The highlight of last year. What was your highlight of last year of 2020? For boxing.
For me, for boxing, I think my highlight had to be watching Teofimo Lopez whoop Loma ass, yo. That had to be my highlight because I just knew it was gonna happen, and like while it was happening, I mean, because we talked about that on the pod before, and I think
we led up to that fight.
Yeah, I think I remember saying the same thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure I said the same thing, but seeing it happen, and then all the way down to the last round, just watching him keep his foot on the gas.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was like, yeah, young nigga, get that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was happy to see him do that, the way he did it, the fashion that he won. So that was definitely my highlight.
Yeah, bro. I think that was definitely the marquee fight of the year last year.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody. I mean, obviously there was other greats who fought. Canelo fought. Who else fought? Ryan Garcia. Not that he's a great, but he has a good draw. We'll get into that later. But Terrance Crawford fought. Adrien Broner fought. Errol Spence fought. There's all of these fights, but honestly, the one that sticks out in my memory is Teofimo versus Lomachenko. I agree with you. I think that's the fight that happened in 2020. We all kind of wanted it, expected it, and I'm glad that Bob Arum was able to pull it off. And sacrifice the crowd.
Yo, that's the only thing that was kind of like,
it's weird.
It was definitely weird. It was different. It was video game-esque. Like just watching the fight, it was like to make you think about playing the game. But even the game would have like some kind of crowd noise.
Have some simulated crowd noise.
It just I ain't like that. And I'm curious to see how fighters that were in big fights, quote unquote big fights in the last year, how that affected them. You know what I mean? And looking back on it now, how they really felt about being in the COVID situation with they big fights. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we said that earlier. I think it's they seemed a lot like to me anyways. I'm not gonna speak for every fan, but to me it seemed like televised sparring sessions. Like I'm watching this and it feels like I'm in the gym. Like it feels like
it's missing that element that makes it what it is. You know what I mean?
When DAZN has done a decent job of pumping crowd noise into it, but I found out that DAZN, like only the fans could hear the crowd noise. The fighters could not actually hear the crowd noise. So that's something that's like an after.
It's like post-production.
Post-production type shit that we hear it, but the fighters don't hear it. So the fighters are in like a gym situation. where they can hear every single little thing. And I'm curious, like you said, how it affects different fighters.
Hear the custodian sneezing in the back. You in the middle of a 12-round championship round. You hear somebody sneezing in the background and shit.
Yeah.
That's not a good look. It sucks the energy out. It's like the fighter got to be his own energy anyway. But you do. I mean, let's be honest. You feed off the crowd.
Right.
That's not even boxing. That's just in life in general.
Yeah.
You feed off of the crowd and whatever it is that you're doing. So I know that element not being there definitely affected performances in some way.
Yeah, it had to. But it didn't affect Teofimo. Teofimo came out. He showed out. He did keep his, like you said, kept his foot on the gas pedal the whole entire fight. He took maybe a middle round off here and there.
He got in control though. Even when he did it, it was strategic.
He did that on purpose. Like you knew he was taking a little bit of a breather right in the middle rounds. But Teofimo came out strong. I think what boxing is doing right now, and you can see with Top Rank and Bob Arum, they're shifting their focus to Teofimo. Well, I guess he's not. He's technically not Top Rank anymore, but he was taking control of Top Rank before he made this power move that we'll get into in a minute or two. Actually, we might as well, bro. That's the next topic on the docket. Teofimo becomes the undisputed champion, and now he is the marquee name, one of the top marquee names in boxing.
Absolutely.
And he LeBron's the shit.
The star was born, man.
I am taking my talents to Triller. Inks the deal. Actually, this was extremely recently.
How crazy is that, yo?
Teofimo decides to take his talents over to Triller, which we saw in the greatest matchup of history. A star was born during the actual Triller, the first Triller, Triller fights.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that in jest. But in all seriousness,
Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. is a fight that 20 years ago we would have loved to have seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would have been something.
20 years would be nice. Well, we're being a little generous, but yeah, I mean, shit. Mike moved up to heavyweight Roy moved up to heavyweight. Yeah. Hell yeah. That was a fantasy matchup. And granted, let's dive into that in a second. But I just want to recap. Teofimo, he's predicting about 2 million buys for his fight against George Campos on Triller. He just recently signed this deal. It is going to be a pay-per-view, between $50 and like $70, give or take. But he signed.
I feel like he's earned a pay-per-view, right?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So
you beat Lomachenko.
He's there.
Fuck that. I'm going to pay-per-view. But yeah, listen.
It's Triller thing though.
This is the new wave of just what we dealing with. Like DAZN was the first.
Yeah, the first of its kind.
Yeah, the first one to come in and upset the balance. They're not on a major network. They're not associated with Fox or FX or ESPN, whatever it may be. They're their own standalone thing. You got to download the app, subscribe to the app, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Listen,
sign of the times, man.
He's young, he's hungry, and he's about his fucking money, so I can't be mad at him. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's nothing to be mad about at all. I mean, this is forward progression. This is what it looked like the game is going to turn into.
And Triller has the money.
They have the money, and they also, I mean, again, we always had a conversation about production value.
Yep.
What's changing? What's making it different? Like it's the Triller fight. I mean, the fight was what it was, but the production of it's definitely different. It's not a Showtime fight. Even though I still love that
I got
that platform, and I still love the way it's put together. It's always gonna feel good, you know what I mean? That's nostalgic. But I'm not mad at the new wave and the new transitions that they're making as far as bringing boxing to your TV.
And we were talking about this before with DAZN, like follow the money. Like where did the money, you know what I mean?
Right.
They outbid Matchroom, and I think, so they outbid Matchroom. Yeah, that was the top purse bid. And Triller bid more than $6 million for this purse. So for this fight, for the Teofimo fight.
Dang.
So I don't know what the splits are, but Teofimo is getting paid.
I mean, they definitely got the bag. And what's interesting to me is outside of just all the business that Triller is doing, they just acquired the Versus.
Yep.
From Swiss and Tim, and that's interesting to me for a lot of reasons. I want to see what they do with the whole Versus platform in general. I know Swiss and Tim are supposed to be still involved in the brand and everything, but that leads me to the YouTube boxers that are making good money in boxing now, which leads me to could this potentially turn into a new avenue to settle rap disputes?
Hey, look. Yeah,
I would love that.
Chris Brown versus who? Who do we?
Soulja Boy.
Oh
man.
yeah,
that was supposed to happen.
Yeah,
I would love to see. I mean, they threw Nate Robinson in the ring and then let Nate Robinson get thrown around in the ring. So, shit,
bro. All right, so this is multifaceted for me.
It's a lot of layers.
I'm on the fence about how I feel about these YouTube fighters. I've listened to a bunch of different fighters. I've talked to fighters personally, see how they feel about this shit. Like Devin Haney doesn't have a problem with it, but there's other fighters, there's other well-known marquee fighters that are saying like you're making a mockery of
I mean, and I agree with that because
we talked about this before.
Imagine again, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever. Imagine some Joe Schmo from the internet being an undercard on a Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah.
Like how it's not enough views in the world that you should deserve that privilege. And views shouldn't grant you that privilege.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's just
but I understand the business of it all. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, come on, man.
It's weird, bro.
Views shouldn't grant you to be under like Mike Tyson, bro.
It's not just that. Like,
and it's Roy, but I'm just saying it as Mike. Like
the fact that they were on a higher like they were the co-main event,
right?
And they were on like they took precedent over fucking
actual
Badu
boxers.
Jack. Yeah, they took like Badu Jack fought before Logan Paul or whatever.
That's what I'm
Jake
saying.
Paul
And
or whatever the fuck
it's a catch-22 because it's like,
man, it's weird.
I understand why they would do that, but it is disrespecting the sport.
Listen,
and it is making a mockery. It is kind of playing.
Yeah,
playing boxing
at the end of the day,
and playing with boxing. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, money talks,
big time.
And at the end of the day, I bought the pay-per-view or I bought the Triller event.
Right. We still watch the shit.
You bought the Triller event, 100 million, I'm sure. Whatever number they did.
Right.
Bought the Triller event.
Right. I think they broke their individual records.
I'm sure they did. But with that being said, it's some weird. I live on the fence with this because you expect it to be like you can think about it from a business perspective, and then you think about it from like the heart and soul of the sport, the machismo, like all of the shit that comes along with boxing, and that it. For lack of a better term, boxing is known as the poor man's sport. Boxing is born and thrives in the hood, in the ghetto. Like that's where boxing comes from. That's why every fighter has a similar type of story. Manny Pacquiao was homeless. Floyd Mayweather, despite being an Olympic champion, was broke, living in Flint, Michigan. Like every fighter has that come from nothing, come from the dirt, come from the mud story.
Right.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Nate Robinson, like I don't know, man. It's odd to me. But listen, at the end of the day, more viewers for that means more people talking about boxing. Right. When we live in the MMA age right now, you know what I mean? Well, for the most part.
And if we're gonna be honest,
you see MMA fighters coming to boxing, like because there's that weird thing there. There's like that bag that they can grab, right? But at the same time, it's everybody knows you don't fucking play boxing. You don't play boxing,
right? Well, shit, you don't play MMA neither. Though.
Well, that's true too.
Mixed martial arts is not a game.
That is true too.
You know what I'm saying, but so
they got less limbs to worry about in boxing.
Right,
you ain't got to worry about getting hit with a fine fucking elbow or knee or some shit in boxing.
Right. But I mean, I'll be honest, man. If whatever business they doing, if that versus thing turns into a versus thing,
that would be crazy.
I would like
middle of.
I would like
some fight.
I would like that to be an avenue for rappers to settle their disputes, man. I would like to see that be a thing.
Look,
the only reason why I don't think it would be, I mean, it's got to be a real. I mean, they got the money, so it got to be a serious bag involved. Yeah. But for a lot of these dudes, man, they look like they don't want to get punched in the face.
Oh no,
you know what I'm saying? And if they do, it's going to be kind of hard to be talking that big stepper shit when we see you.
Very much so. See, that's another. That's a whole.
So I don't know who will really even be willing to engage. How big would the bag have to be for you to put your career on the line?
Yeah.
Hip hop is not kind to losing in any sort of.
How many? Not that Nate Robinson is in the hip hop category.
Yeah, but they did him dirty.
They did him dirty online for I want to say like 3 months at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was bad.
I felt like he got it worse than Pacquiao. He got it worse than Meek. Like it's. I don't know, bro. But I agree with you. I think there is something there, and they're gonna build it. But
I'm interested to see how they develop it.
Stay tuned. Honestly, that's the only thing that I can think of just to say and experience about Triller. Just stay tuned. All right, man. Let's move on to actual fucking boxing.
Let's go.
Canelo Alvarez, the pound for pound king in the entire world right now. I said that with a little sauce because I know you're.
I mean, I'm. If he don't hurry up and fight the Charlo,
I don't see. That's just it. I just don't.
Then I don't. Yeah, because
Billy Joe Saunders is an okay fight for him. Like that fight's coming up. I want to say end of this year.
I'm asleep, man.
Maybe
I'm gonna watch it. I'm tuning in. It is a decent fight, but
so I've had this discussion with a few people. And I
respect the milk. I respect the milk game. He milking the game. I respect it, but it's like, man.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I feel like Canelo's. I guess Canelo is. I was talked into it, but I guess Canelo's allowed to take a fucking cab driver every once in a while. And his last fight was most certainly that he moved all the way the fuck up in weight and fought, Sergey Kovalev.
Yeah.
Still put out Kovalev.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. Like I've just come to expect that it just fucking is what the fuck it is. Callum Smith is no slouch, despite us not knowing him, despite us not, he's a bigger name in the UK, obviously, so here in the US. But Callum Smith is no fucking slouch, and he beat him the fuck up.
Right.
And then, like this kid, Yildirim, the dude he just fought, it just is. You could see that kid was here to take a paycheck.
Yeah, it's a different level. Different level of talent.
I will say, and I'm just going to throw it out there, for Canelo, he is coming upon career-defining time. Like his career is solidified, right?
Yeah.
But at this point in time, it's like shit or get off the pot.
Yeah. That's how I feel, because it's like it's not hearing his name. It's not. It doesn't have the same ring to.
Yeah, it used to do something for me. Billy Joe Saunders, like it just is the point where he's in that Roy Jones situation. You ran out of opponents, and by the time he gets the new opponents, it might be too late.
Right.
It might be the point where. And it could. He's a different fighter, obviously, but it might be to the point where he's taking losses or whatever have you. And this is just pure speculation down the line.
Okay.
We're talking like 5 years, 6 years maybe. But at this point, the guys that he has on his resume from the past 3 fights, give or take 3 or 4 fights, I'm just not like Sergey's past his prime. Callum Smith is a B-side fighter compared to Canelo. Let me not even get into Anvi Yildirim.
Right.
I don't even know how to say his name. But and again, I'm sure a great fighter for where he's from and what he can do against certain type of opponents. None of those opponents are Canelo.
Canelo level, right?
And then Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders is again another good fighter, but he's not stepping in the ring with anybody that can hurt him and that anybody's a threat. And other than Triple G, that's not like, and even right now for Triple G, that's not the case in my opinion. And I love Triple G, but I just don't.
That ship is sailed.
Like you said, I think the Charlo brothers, Benavidez, are the better competition for him. But even still, those guys, I don't think they can fucking hurt Canelo. Like, I haven't seen a chink in his armor since he fought Floyd. And then he fixed it, which is insane and almost unheard of.
I don't disagree.
Because you see, like,
I don't disagree, but with anything you said, except for I'm not sure that the Charlos can't hurt him.
I don't believe in it.
I ain't sure about that. I have to see it because it's a factor in that makes it different for me.
Okay. What's that factor?
Soul Brothers, man. Soul Brothers have the key to chopping down Mexican fighters, man.
In general, sure. Canelo, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but
Austin Trout.
I'm saying I would give it a chance.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's okay. I want to see what the Charlos can do. I want to see what they can do.
I'm with you.
Either one.
I think him, and I don't think I think Benavidez has been talking a big game against Canelo right now, and Benavidez just came off of the win this past weekend, and now everybody's throwing the Canelo name, and it's almost turning into the point. Like I can see the page turning, us turning the corner where Canelo is the Floyd Mayweather name, and I mean that
get the bag with it.
Get the bag
on his way out.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean like get the bag to fight him. Like I can't really beat him. Like Andre Berto couldn't really beat Floyd.
Right.
But Andre Berto took that fight because he's fucking getting paid.
Right.
So it just seems to me that like Canelo's approaching that point in his career where he's just the bag man. Like he's holding where the big money is.
Yeah.
And in order to get paid the big money, you got to fight him. Whether or not you can beat him is a different story.
That's the thing. I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not excited. Like I said, I'm gonna check out the Billy Joe fighter.
Yeah, the Billy Joe Saunders fight is going to be an interesting fight. Billy Joe's slick, but he just doesn't have any pop. So that doesn't worry me at all.
Right.
If you're going to outbox the puncher boxer at this point in his career, good fucking luck.
Right.
The puncher boxer is going to beat the pure boxer 7 times out of 7.
Right.
100%. Where is he on your pound for pound? Like all time?
All time, Canelo?
Yeah.
I haven't even put that in perspective, honestly.
We're so fucking jaded based off of
I haven't put that in perspective, bro.
Watching.
I haven't even put that in perspective.
All right,
he's definitely got it right now.
He's top 5 Mexican fighters, top 3 Mexican fighters, I think, at least. Julio Cesar Chavez.
Gotta say Chavez.
Manuel Marquez, I think, is up there, and then I like Canelo. Manuel Marquez and Canelo are replaceable. I know that gives Manuel Marquez Juan Manuel Marquez fucking ulcers.
I'm trying to think.
Juan Manuel Marquez knocked out fucking what's his name?
Absolutely, I know. I'm with you.
I still think
Stone Cold.
He's slick, but Canelo's the next. He was slick counterpuncher, but Canelo's the next fucking evolution of that. Like just the fact that I've seen his defense, like you know what I mean. He fought Floyd and then continues to fight like Floyd.
Right. No, that was beautiful.
That's just I don't know.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. If somebody says that, he's top 3.
Yeah, top 3 Mexican fighters of all time. I think that's fair. All right, moving on from there.
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but I can't remember.
I'm sure we are. Oscar De La Hoya is in there somewhere, maybe. I think he's top 5, top 10 for me for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, I might put him over Canelo, but I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, I think I would put him over Canelo.
Really?
I think so.
I
think so.
Nah, maybe because of the name. See, it goes back to the fucking names on his resume.
Okay.
You look at Chavez. Chavez was past his prime, but he fought Tito. He fought Floyd. He fought Sweet Pea. He fought. All right, yeah. All right, maybe you might be right. I think you're on to something,
different caliber.
I think you're on to something. Yeah. All right, maybe. I think.
Wars he had to go through.
But then you gotta put in perspective that maybe he's not fully Mexican, and that's where I get that little asterisk, that little A-Rod asterisk right there.
Okay.
All right. So moving on, but coming out of the Canelo camp. Curiously, I guess now, is Ryan Garcia. What are your thoughts on him? I feel like it's a topic that I keep getting asked about, so I might as well ask you about it.
My thoughts on Ryan Garcia. I have none.
They're building him to be the next.
I see what they're doing. I saw him on Mike Tyson's podcast. I saw him.
You told me to check that out.
I watched the interview. That kid is not going to box for long. That's what I think. I think he's being groomed to but he's groomed to be a celebrity. He's groomed to be a star in whatever fashion that's going to be. He might be playing, what's J-Lo's old husband? The singer, Enrique Iglesias, or one of them. He might be playing one of them in a Hollywood feature film. Mark Anthony, yeah. He might be playing Mark Anthony in a Hollywood feature film in the next 5 years. I don't know, bro.
That's fair. Hey, look,
but that's
fair.
what I see. He's too media trained. He's too.
Oh yeah, he's polished.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They grooming him for something. I don't know what. And boxing is just like going to be the avenue to get there to me.
I feel like we agree on this, but
You fight a little bit, but
there's a lot of people on the West Coast that really fucking believe in him.
that's beautiful.
A lot of Mexicans that believe in him. A lot of
That's what great marketing does, man.
a lot of boxing people that believe in him, and I just don't like. Listen, you can ask any fighter really, and I think the most overrated thing in boxing gyms is pad work. The most overrated, and this is off.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bring it back, I promise. But the most overrated thing in boxing or in boxing gyms is pad work.
Pad work is like a magic trick. It's an
It's an optical illusion.
Optical illusion,
exactly.
yo.
No, I'm with you.
It's confusing to the naked eye.
And I think that he, to some aspects, relies on that very, very heavily. And I think he's trying to catch his skills up to where he made YouTube, Instagram, and everybody else believe that he is.
Right.
And the speed is there.
Right.
I will not take that away from him. I think he really has that speed. But seeing the Ryan Garcia challenge on Instagram,
I missed that one.
fam, it's putting on a body shield and letting Ryan Garcia hit.
Oh, I did see that. He did that. He started that.
Yeah, that's the.
So what they
kick
trying
that
to say?
I've seen.
But see, again,
Listen.
that's marketing, man. That's not like he just body punching, dropping people left and right.
I get it when you put on a body shield.
I can see if
And you've never taken punches. You're a football player and you've
Right.
never taken punches. You're a basketball player. You've never taken punches.
Right.
I can see all of the above.
Right.
And I would put my money where my mouth is, and I would happily do this.
Right.
But again, just from what I've seen, I'm not sold on him yet. And I'm sure shit not sold on him against fucking Tank Davis.
Not at all. Not at all.
Listen.
I don't see that.
Tank is. I've had my own personal opinions about Tank, but outside of that, just speaking as Tank, as a pure fighter, as a boxing fan, he's the real fucking.
There's fan to the fire for both of them in a way. You know what I mean? As far as blowing it up, but I think Tank has shown more of the goods, even though there's still some limitations and still some things yet to be seen in Tank. Yeah, he's 100% more believable.
I put
and the hype is more.
They're both fucking hype trains, right?
Yeah, but his is more validated.
Right, I agree.
You know
I think he fights very well. I think he can fight well.
He's exciting.
I believe in Tank. I believe in Tank fighting under pressure rather than over seeing what Ryan Garcia does under pressure. And I feel like I'm biased, like we're biased. The whole entire East Coast is biased because again, I've had this conversation with my man who lives out on the West Coast, and it is not the case.
Right.
It is. They believe in Ryan Garcia to the 10th degree. He's the next greatest fighter. He's the next Canelo. He's the next Oscar De La Hoya. Like he's who's next. And I can name 7 other Mexican fighters that
he is. I could see him as the next Oscar De La Hoya, like in the movie.
Actually,
and that's what I feel like he's being groomed
I can see
for,
that too.
bro.
Yeah. I can see that too. He's gonna be he's gonna pull off the Ray Charles and Jamie Foxx thing.
And authenticity to the acting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can see that.
I can see that too. But with that being said,
coming to a theater near you.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that.
Yo, if they make that movie,
he's gonna be. He got to be casted. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
If he wasn't thinking,
send the money.
I think that's what I see. That's
that was from this brain right here. From these brains right here.
That's what's going on.
But yeah, bro, I think he's just one of the standout people that I know has come up in a lot of conversation in 2020, 2021. A lot of people are looking forward to. One of the bigger conversations towards the end of that was the beginning of this year, beginning of 2021. This is going to be a quick speed bump. No offense to him. Adrien Broner, what are your thoughts? I just wanted to revisit this with you.
What are my thoughts on Adrien Broner far as this last fight?
Or just where he is, all of that shit. Like, personally, I'm just not.
You over it?
I'm done.
Completely?
I'm over.
Even after the last wash
my hands. Outing? I'm out of here. If you throw 37 punches an entire fight, I'm done. I'm not. That was my last chance with him. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. He looks good. He looks strong. Like, he sounds hungry.
Yeah, he sounds like he's real focused. Yeah, he sounds like
does the Adrien Broner talk shit, and then I'm ready to go, and I watch the fight, and I'm ready to fall asleep by round 7.
I don't know what it is. I think he just got bit by the bug, man. He got bit by the bug of fame, and he loved the fame more than he loved the game.
Is he though? Like, is he like famous?
Famous
like,
enough for himself. Fame is interpreted individually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
Is he Jay-Z famous? No, but he know Rick Ross, so he feel, you know what I mean. So in his mind, he there.
He got mentioned in
he there wherever he could be. You know what I'm saying?
He got mentioned in a couple songs, and that's it for him. In other words, he hit his peak. He's done.
He can play around. He could be in the club with the rappers. He could get money. I don't know what his financial situation really is, but he can make it look like it.
Right.
I mean, that's fame. That's success to some people. To some people, that's all they want.
I guess.
And I feel like he got bit by that bug of that. And just felt like, oh, I could just start rapping now if I want. Oh, I could do this if I want. I could just do anything.
My thing is go get that success elsewhere though. Like you don't have to box. Just don't stop coming into my sport. Go elsewhere.
That's how you come. That's what he knows how to do to come get it back.
I guess.
So he hustling. Put it like that. That's what I see. I don't see him really trying to define his legacy any further than it's already been defined, which he's really just sabotaging it at this point.
Yeah,
the more he continues on, it's like it's not even what you did do is never going to be mentioned no more. Nobody talks about that unless they like trying to revive you. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny seeing like his B-roll of like what Showtime is showing or PBC is showing for like his Adrien Broner, hyping Adrien Broner, you know what I mean? His highlight reel. And some of those fights are years ago at this point, bro.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I mean, absolutely. I don't see, they're not showing highlights in that highlight reel. They're not showing you against Manny Pacquiao. Like,
absolutely not.
I don't know, man. I don't want to spend too much time on AB.
I wish him the best. I would love to see him return to his former state, you know what I mean? But I think it's just too far gone at this point. It's just too many other elements involved with, and time done pass and just I don't know.
Yeah, you're only getting older. You're only slowing down.
I don't really see him having a career-defining fight in the near future.
I'm with you. Speaking of career-defining fights, though, we got some people that really just need to fucking fight and make their career-defining fight. Because really, there's only one name on each of their resumes that is going to be a career-defining fight.
Right.
Terrance Bud Crawford.
We're talking 80-20?
80-20. Fam, I read that shit, yo. Listen, I love Errol. I think Errol is a fantastic fighter. I'm happy he's
That's that PBC money, man. when you over there with that PBC banner, they just talk a little different these days.
PBC fucking dementia that he has. I don't listen. 80-20 is nuts. That's nuts.
It is.
70-30 is nuts.
Yeah.
60-40, I'm having let's have the conversation. 60-40. Look, it should be really honestly 50-50.
Absolutely, it should
I'm watching that fight for both of them.
Absolutely,
not one more than the other.
And I don't think there's any. If you're a fan of Errol Spence, you've been watching Bud Crawford this whole time too.
Exactly.
Like it's not no big homie, little homie situation. It's not no big I, little you situation. This is two journeys that we've been watching, and both of them ascending to a point where it's like you guys got to meet at the mountaintop. It's got to happen.
Even if you're biased, I'm still watching the opponent,
right?
And I'm watching the opponent in all because
if you are a fan of either one, like a diehard fan of either one, you don't dislike the other.
Hell yeah!
It's just you like that one for your personal reason. You know what I'm saying?
And they don't really dislike each other. They're putting that whole shit on. That's all the show right now. That's not. They love each other. They got love.
They got respect for each other's fight game. It's real, man. It's real.
That fight needs to happen.
It's gotta happen, yo.
Before we're on the cusp. Like I feel like, and I feel like we're getting the dialogue back and forth when they really just like are behind the scenes. Like, yo, as soon as it's open,
yeah.
It's game on.
I hope so.
As soon as Vegas is
our
open,
first pod back in a year and a week, and we still having this conversation that we had when we first started.
That is fucking crazy.
So they got to do something, man. But this shit got to happen.
And there's
a fight we got to see.
There's a few fights out there that I think are waiting for the world. They're doing like double dutch right now. Like they're waiting for the world to open. Like the fact that Vegas is not open,
right? Like that is a factor. I'm not mad at that though. That is a factor. But Texas is open.
Yeah, but if I'm Bud, I'm not fighting Errol.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Dead ass. I'm not fighting Errol in Texas. Fuck out of here.
I wouldn't want to. I mean, but I don't know. He kind of thrives off being an underdog. But I don't know if you want to dig that deep.
That's deep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because then I think at that point it comes to like Like, you look at what happened this past weekend. Texas is full of one of the biggest populations in Texas is Mexican, and you see what happened with Ray. You see what happened with Chocolatito. Like, I just Texas judging, make boxing judges see again, because I'm not. I just, and that we'll recap these fights, those fights this past weekend. But I just, if I'm Errol or if I'm Bud, I'm not taking that fight in fucking Texas. There's way.
I totally forgot. Errol is a Texas boy. Yeah, that
you climbing up a big fucking mountain,
right?
Against Errol in Texas.
Should be Vegas.
But that fight needs to happen when Vegas opens up. Let's everybody go get vaccinated, right? See, look, perfect case. Go get your vaccine, and so we can have boxing back.
Not if Hagler just died from that shit, man.
Hagler did. we are moving the fuck on. So another thing that just got announced too. We're speeding through this shit, bro. Let's
move. We back, baby.
Yeah,
Phantom Punch Podcast.
Phantom Punch Podcast. Rapid fire.
Back in the building.
So heavyweights. We had a few heavyweights. We had some decent heavyweight fights. That kid Otto Wallin is a
decent.
He's a pretty good fighter, bro.
Decent.
He put up a good fight against Fury.
Decent.
And he came back against what's his face?
Don't give me the line.
He came back and put on another show. But the heavyweights that we all want to see, they have a plan for the future apparently now. Man. But we haven't seen them.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen Anthony Joshua in over a year, man. Like, I just haven't seen him. I don't know, not even just in the ring, but at all. Not even on my timeline. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's, getting his skills up and practicing a little other elements that he didn't have in his game. And I'm sure that's what he's doing, but I'm curious to see what he's looking like now.
Listen.
But fighting Fury is what we've been waiting for.
Even Deontay has been...
He's been low too, yo.
Deontay, for the most part, has been quiet. I'm looking at his social media right now. It's all everybody staying at home.
I mean, it's grind time. It's grind time. So hopefully they implementing new things to their game.
So with that fight announced, I feel like... You know what I mean? Like...
They got two fights, right?
We need to hear from him. Yeah, 2-fight deal. But I'm talking about
we need to hear from Deontay.
We need to hear from Deontay.
That Fury's just looking past him.
Yeah. Where does it stand right now? Where do
there's no reason for Fury to keep looking back. You know what I mean? There's no need for a trilogy for him. He punished him the last fight.
I agree, but I know Deontay wants that.
He needs it.
So...
But and for him to be such a loud character, you're right. He has been extremely quiet.
So with those
this day.
To this day.
He's been extremely quiet since then.
Where does Deontay go? So let's say these two fights are the next two fights, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say that AJ is next for Fury and Fury is next for AJ.
In the next two bouts.
Let's say they have to. I don't know what the contract says, but they did sign a 2-fight deal.
Yeah.
Let's say it's back to back. Whatever. Either way. After that, if I'm Fury, he already hinted at it before. I'm done.
Yeah, Fury could bow out gracefully.
But so what happens now for AJ? AJ's really young.
He can still fight Deontay, but he doesn't have to.
Does it matter at this point?
He don't have to.
All right. Well, first and foremost, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Who do you have for those two fights?
Fury. I got Fury unless AJ miraculously comes and shows us what a pandemic and COVID and the shutdown and the grind time did for him. Unless he comes out as a new fighter, I see Fury doing what Fury does.
I would agree, and I feel like a lot of people agree with that, except for everybody overseas. We need.
I don't know. I mean, they like Fury over there too.
No, yeah, that's true too.
That's what I'm saying. They like Fury over there too.
I don't know, bro.
The Gypsy King gets love, bro.
Where are they fighting at? Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
I'm curious where they're fighting at.
I mean, why wouldn't they fight? I would imagine they would fight over there, not here.
I would assume so. That's what I'm just wondering. But maybe, I was going to say
that's a battle for Britain.
Maybe all the money's over here though,
or wherever.
When the UK opens up, or when Vegas opens up, I wonder who's giving out more money, what gate they get more of. I assume it's got to be Wembley though. Like Wembley's. Yeah, I would assume so. I don't know.
I wouldn't imagine they would fly them both over here and
just to fight over here.
Yeah. When all that money is over there.
Yeah, but you know what that means? That we're watching the
3:00,
one of the greatest heavyweight fights in the world to ever take place at fucking 3:00, 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
I mean, it's not.
Like
but
that.
I mean, probably like one of the first times I actually did catch one like that was AJ fighting
Ruiz.
Klitschko.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't mind it. Like I was like, oh shit, it's a good ass fight on early in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with that.
Yeah.
Because I still got on with the rest of my day, and I was good.
I don't know. I tried to make an evening of my heavyweight fights.
I feel you. Heavyweight is a different thing. I feel you.
Yeah,
1,000%.
I don't know, but either way, we're both in agreement here. I think Fury walks away with a dub either way. I think it does go a full 12 rounds, though. I will call that. I think it does go a full 12 rounds because Fury, while he can throw punches and bunches, I don't think he can really hurt Joshua. I don't think he can put him down. Andy Ruiz punches really fucking hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the comparison is.
Yeah, I don't know. I look forward to seeing it, but he might put on a
boxing clinic.
Yeah,
it might be. I agree with you. I don't think that he can
because where's the defense?
AJ's very stiff.
Yeah,
very walk.
Unless he's worked on that.
Maybe he has.
But I mean, how much can you really?
We'll see.
How much memory do your muscles have in a year?
I hope. Yeah.
If you just implementing this shit, you know what I'm saying?
AJ fought. When did he fight Ruiz? It's about a year and a half now.
And he fought a different fight then.
Yeah.
But what he did there, I mean.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't believe in AJ enough. I don't think AJ's. I don't think.
I'd love to see him do it. Like I'd love to see him surprise me. But Fury has answered the bell every time he's been asked to. Time. Man. And
yeah.
He got all the tools. So
I'm with you. I agree. I think it's going to be it's just an exciting fight. I'm just ready for heavyweights to come back. We got spoiled for little while just before pandemic with all of those guys being active, fighting different fights. And speaking of fucking Andy Ruiz, bro, he is no homo. Pause. He's in shape, bro. He looks fucking good.
It's a good thing.
He's got he like slimmed out, looks lean, looks strong, hasn't missed a single leg day.
Well, we saw pictures of him looking like that before the last AJ fight, and then he came out looking like the same old Andy Ruiz. So
fatter.
Yeah. So I don't know what those pictures. I think like that's a troll thing at this point.
Maybe
like, they just playing with people.
I don't know
because he was the champ. Like you forget about it. Like that thing really did happen.
He's not now though. So I mean, maybe he's back to being hungry. Literally.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
But I am looking forward to that, and congratulations to both of those guys for inking the deal and
finally getting it. Let's see, undisputed, man, undisputed,
fighting each other. That's what you gotta do. Just fucking fight each other. Errol, Bud, fucking fight each other.
Right.
Everybody wants it. I know everybody works for their own pockets these days because fighters are just racehorses, and I get that mentality too.
Right.
But please, I'll ask nicely. That's all I could do, bro.
Yeah, we gotta get the fights. Just gotta happen, man.
It's just gotta happen.
You can't prolong this shit forever.
Yep. So we have that to look forward to. This past weekend we did see. Wow, we're already fast forwarding to this past weekend. Listen, we gonna miss a lot of shit. All right, like I'm not covering everything.
If you're watching this expecting us to recap a whole year, you're a dickhead.
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen.
You're already at almost damn near 2 hours. That's 2 hours too many. That's at least 45 minutes too much.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, either way.
No, I think that's 48 minutes.
Oh, all right, damn. We sped through that.
Nah, we good timing, man. It's good timing. First episode back, man. Rock with us, bear with us. We appreciate you if you are tuning in.
We got a little ring rust. What can I say? But we trying to power through everything. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Either way, you know what I mean? We're just trying to get back to it. And we promise as a podcast that we are back.
That's a fact.
Indefinitely. We are going to be on pace. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's good to go. The world is opening up outside. If you go outside and listen, if you listen to this podcast, you go outside right now, I guarantee it's going to be sunny. So, you know what I mean? Just go listen to us. Check us out. But yeah, let's catch up. This past weekend, Chocolatito made his return against Estrada. Yeah.
I like Chocolatito, man. I like him.
I want
to see him, huh?
I'm disappointed in the loss, to be honest.
I was about to get that.
Juan Francisco Estrada, this is their second fight. This is their rematch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a great fight. They stood toe-to-toe the entire fight.
Yeah.
Chocolatito,
man.
They just bang. That's both of their styles.
Right.
That's both their styles. But I think, honestly, it's probably... He should have won this past weekend. However, The Texas judges, being the Texas judges, unfortunately did not give that to him. I even read that one of the judges got suspended, actually, for his 117-111 score, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Beautiful, good. These judges should be fucking held accountable. But with that being said, listen, I can go on and on about judges. Everybody kind of knows who, if you're watching this podcast, if you watch boxing, if you are a fan of boxing, you know judges are pieces of shit for the most part. A lot of them have never they've never laced up gloves in their life. A lot of them, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of them are doctors and or like lawyers or whatever have you. They've never really stepped foot in the ring, so they don't know what it takes leading up to it. All the sacrifices made, all the pain, all the literal blood, sweat, tears, all of that shit. They don't understand it. We all kind of know that, and boxing is the only sport that puts up with it over and over and over and over again. We're all, if you're a boxing fan, you are a fucking glutton for punishment. So, but with that being said, I do think it is the time for Chocolatito to hang the gloves up. He did seem a little slower. He did seem a little, he's just older. He's up there now. I believe he's pushing 30 something. I'm not exactly sure of his age, but either way, he kind of.
I was hoping to see him bounce back, man.
Absolutely, and he did. He looked great. Like they stood toe to toe all night long. 117, 111 is absolutely bullshit, and the judges fucked up on that card. They
fucked up on Ray's card.
You saw, obviously talking about one of the local fighters, hottest prospects from the zone, from Matchroom, Ray Savage Ford. Just seeing what they did to him too.
Bullshit.
And again, it's a draw. Ray should not be ashamed about a draw. I talked to his trainer, Reg, this past week.
Shout out Reg.
Shout out to Reg. And again, he knows what it is. Like a draw is not a loss. But with these younger fighters, they can be not what, if it's not what they're expecting or the outcome they're expecting, it can be hard on them.
Yeah.
But Ray's gonna bounce back, and just seeing the judges, bro, it's just not. I'm sick and tired of that shit. But it is what it is.
So one of them scores was outrageous.
Yeah, they had it scored. I forget what it was, but they had it scored the other way for Ray's opponent, and it was nuts. It was just. It was just
like,
nuts.
what round did that happen in? Because I ain't see it.
I didn't see any of it, and they had it scored the complete other way. Like I could see it maybe a draw with that fight, but it's still not not from what I saw, what I had seen it going the other way against Ray. But that once again, one of those things. Boxing judges, it's the only sport you put up with this shit. If you have a bad referee in the NFL, that ref is gone. You know what I mean? Like if you have a bad ref, for the most part in fucking in basketball, that ref's not going to be around too long. But like in boxing, these guys keep getting cards. They keep getting like judging assignments and all that shit. It just is insane to me. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
I agree.
Only in our sport.
I agree.
But
stay focused, Ray.
Yes, absolutely, Ray. Much love to you, bro. It's only a draw. Come back stronger. Get back in the gym. Get hungry. Same way, you know what I mean? Same way you always have been. And
you already know, boy. Kansas shit, man. Let's get it.
Continue with your work ethic, bro. And you already know what it is. So you got support from us, and we're definitely looking forward to watching you back in the ring again. But with that being said, bro, we got some shit coming up. Let's see what's coming up in boxing, a boxing schedule. And this is weird, too. Like, we don't have a set schedule. It's not like...
There's a defined schedule,
Yeah, there's not like we have some decent. Arthur Beterbiev is back in the ring March 20th. Jamel Herring versus Carl Frampton. That's actually a decent fight in Dubai. So shout out to Dubai for coming through with the bag. They got the UFC out there too. So the world is open in certain places.
They got it.
Fuck if I know. Pitufo's back in the ring against Emmanuel Navarrete. On ESPN Plus, April 24th. Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders, May 8th. Jose Ramirez, May 22nd. TBD on ESPN. So not sure where they're fighting at. I'm looking through the schedule, bro. There obviously is no major fights on this schedule except for Canelo. That's the biggest name. But again, that fight is not necessarily something that I'm not rushing to spend money on it. I'll watch it, but I'm not rushing to spend money on it. That Jamel Herring fight, Jamel Herring versus Carl Frampton is actually
decent.
Really
Here's a question for you. What do you see next for Clarissa, man?
Oh, shit. I forgot. Yeah, Clarissa. I think she's going to make the switch. I think she's going to jump to MMA. I think it's going to happen.
I mean, shit, I don't see why not.
She even said it before, like the same thing that Heather Hardy said, that other fighters, Holly Holm has said, like the same thing that those boxing fighters have said in the past. Those female fighters, and they shouldn't be called female fighters. They're just fucking fighters. But the fact is that there's more money for them in MMA than there is in boxing. It just is what it is, man. Yeah. We're going to continue to lose our female stars, and they're going to continue to go check out other sports or just break off and go do other shit when we deserve that. We actually don't deserve their greatness, I guess. We deserve
to get paid for their greatness.
Exactly. They deserve to get fucking paid. And if you're going to have the undisputed champion and make this whole big fucking ordeal about not Klitschko, Jesus Christ, Fury fighting Joshua, there's no reason that you shouldn't have Clarissa top build, heavy, or, you know what I mean, heavy on the promotion, like all of that shit.
Right,
like,
she deserves it.
Cut the fucking check, bro.
Right.
So I do think that she'll probably end up going to MMA. I don't know. I think we're going to lose a star for at least a little while. And if she goes to MMA, there's a good chance she'll get roughed up. And that's not to take anything away from her talent.
Nah, it's just a different sport.
MMA is a fucking different sport. It's a different sport. I don't want to see her get in the ring with fucking Cyborg and get demolished, but that could be, or the Cage.
Right.
But that could be what happens. But at the same time, she could hold her own there for a little while and make some fucking money, do her own thing, and just build her own brand another way.
Yeah.
Heather Hardy did the same thing. She was in boxing for a while, couldn't get like these really good big fights or good promotion, and just went to MMA.
Turned it up.
Yeah, made some money. Same thing with Holly Holm.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to just see, man. I don't know.
I do think that Michaela Mayer is the rising superstar, though, for women's boxing. She's going to be...
Yeah, you've been on her for a minute.
Yeah, she's a good fighter. I like her a lot. I think she's very gritty. She's very strong, and I think she has a lot of potential. Doesn't hurt that she looks nice, too.
Yeah. That never hurts.
That never hurts. Never hurts your marketability there.
No.
Maybe
hurts to watch sometimes.
Yeah, no. Maybe her and Katie Taylor at some point in the somewhat distant future. Who the fuck knows with COVID? Like I said, when the world opens, then we'll start to see more fights.
And we could really have conversations about, what's to come, because you really just don't know what people are waiting for.
Everybody's guessing.
Yeah, what the money look like. You know what I mean? It's just different.
Everybody's kind of in the dark right now and just waiting. Once fans are back, like I guess I was talking to Reg about Ray's fight. I was asking him, what is it like for him to fight with no fans in the stands? And he was like, bro, we got like 10,000 people in Texas right now.
Right.
I was like, what? Is that a thing?
That's crazy.
He was like, you should have told me. You could have came out.
Right.
I didn't know. Right. I didn't know. I forgot that Texas was open like that.
Yeah.
But even still, that's a big, big stadium to have.
Only 10,000.
Yeah, only 10,000 people. I think it may have been less than that they had in attendance. But either way, boxing is on the mend. It is on the comeback, just like every other sport.
Yep.
Slowly but surely opening up. But that's it, bro. I don't got much else.
Yeah, me neither, man. I mean, it's good to be back.
Absolutely.
Fan of Punch podcast. As always, man, respect to every fighter that enters the ring. On behalf of Johnny Southpaw, myself. I mean, we huge fans of the sport. We happy to be back. Happy to be here to cover it for y'all. Stay tuned for us next week. We back again, right?
Back again.
All right, we back again next week.
No doubt about it.
We're going to be here for y'all covering all your boxing news.
Stay tuned and make sure you like, subscribe, and check us out on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, sir.
Peace.